Hey everyone, so it's that time. Let's take a look at some more coins. Um, I'm going to be going over Bitcoin and some altcoins. As usual, we'll be looking at the dollar as well. Um, Basically, give you guys my thought process for the next following weeks. Everyone thinks it's going to rip in April, right? So let's see what I see. Um, and let's start with Bitcoin here. So if you guys are in my servers, that I've been, giving analysis on. We're still in the chop zone, so the chop zone is from 29.2 down to 26.8. High time frame resistance. Now, if you see on the weekly, um, we do have a supply zone here that I spoke about in a couple of videos. Now, this has been a tough area for bulls to get through. Okay, so this supply zone here, I'm just going to get rid of this box here so it doesn't confuse people, but I need a clean break of 29.2k and flipped to be targeting the highs here, 32k. Until that happens and we chop in here, I'd be looking to play alts, whether it's shorting or longing. This should be the mini alt season that people are looking for. And if you guys are saying that coins are not running, you guys are probably looking at your shit coins. Okay, there's a lot of volume. APT, Soul did some running, Link did. There's a lot of coins that are running. So if you guys aren't catching those gains on these coins, then you have to be looking at the top, top gainers. Stop looking at your stupid shit coins that aren't going to run. Okay. Um, but anyways, as long as we are in this chop zone, I expect alts to get some breathing room. Yes, it's going to be quick. And if you guys are trying to swing trade in this market, and in this chop area, you're not going to make it. It's going to be scalps, all right. Unless you caught high time frame supports and resistances, you're not going to make money swinging if you're trying to get big moves down in this chop zone. So if we get back up to 29.2k, I think we'll reject again. Um, this could be a nice area to possibly scalp short. Um, Stops are tricky because I'm not really sure where to place them right now. Because if we do burst through, then it's going to be one giant volume, right, right through our stop loss. So that's why I'm saying scalp short. Keep a very tight stop loss. Probably, if I were to say, stop loss would be about 29.6k. Um, so 29.2 to 29.3k would be your short entry, and then 29.6k would be your stop. So like somewhere right here. Now I'm not going to make that an active call, but I do expect a possible sweep, and I gave this as well. So for Bitcoin, this is what I'm looking at. I'm expecting a sweep of these lows, take out all of this low side liquidity, right? I want to get long around 26.6k. Entry is going to be very small. I'd like to DCA around 26.4, and this is going to be a manual stop. If we do lose this area, so this area is from 26.650 down to 26.4. If we do lose it and turn it to resistance, that's where I'm going to be getting into a short, and I'm going to be shorting it down to 25.2k. Reason for that is if we do lose that area that I was talking about and close a candle below on the daily, then we could possibly put in a deviation, right? And if we do that, then I'm looking at this 25.2 level. Now, the calls I made in the Discord, so you can find it there. I'm not going to give it here, um, but that's what I'm looking for if we do lose it. Now, this one here, I did say that I'm putting a limit order. Now, I have two ways I'm playing this, and I gave this both in the Discords as well. One, I'm placing a limit order at 29.6k, 26.6k, and then I'm DCing at 26.4. Now, my stop is manual on this one, okay? Why? Because we could come down here, take this liquidity, right? Sweep. We could put a swing failure in right there, right? And then if we reclaim this swing low, then that's your trigger to long as well, okay? So I don't want to have a manual stop, whereas we can take this low, one giant candle rips through, right? Takes the stop loss out, and then the next candle closes above. Right, I'm not going to risk myself. That's why I'm placing a manual stop myself. So I'm looking for, if we close the 4 hour below this level, okay, and then we reject, then I will cut my short manually. However, the second way, as I mentioned, is if we do take out this swing low here, reclaim it, then we're putting in a swing failure. I will go ahead and mark it long on my second account with my stops below the wick that was created. Okay, so that's the confirmation play. It's the safer play. That would be the one that I would recommend you guys to take. Um, and then I'm looking for a move up to about 30k. All right. Um, I think if all this liquidity is taken, it gives us the fuel to push higher. And I'm looking to my main TP would be 30k, but obviously I'm going to TP at levels um, of resistance. Now, if we do get this 25.2k, as I mentioned in the previous one, there could be a sell-off here. So like a lot of people are looking for this level to hold to be it would be the retest of the breakout, right? So there's a lot of bids here. Now we get here, bids fill. There could be some market sell-off or something happens where we just burst through, right? So if you are taking this play here, I would risk maybe half size as it is riskier, um, since everyone is looking for this play. Now, although this happens, like if we get to this area, I'd be less in alts and I'd be looking to long Bitcoin and ETH. Now, in terms of Ethereum goes, um, I did give. Where did my ETH chart go? I did give triggers in the Discord as well, and that is one. I did mention that we were going to pull back in this area. We were at high time frame resistance, so on the daily, if we take a look at it, right, there's a supply zone there. We are unable to flip that area, so we were at high time frame resistance, and I expected a pullback. I personally did short and did not give that call, but that's what I was expecting. Now the second trigger is if you want to get long, there's two areas to get long, actually three. One, you'd get long on this flip of this high time frame resistance. I did make a video on how to play support resistance flips. I also do have messages pinned in the server on how to play them. Um, you can check the other videos as well. Now, that's the first option. Second option is on the 2 hour, right? There is a demand zone there. This would be a scalp play. So the entry was going to be 1750, DCA at 1733, and this is a scalp play. So I'm only risking, even though the stop loss is 2%, I'm risking 1 to 2% of my portfolio on this. And I do have a main TP of 2k, but obviously you're going to take profits on the way up since it's a scalp. For me, a scalp play, my first TP comes around 1%, and then second one comes around 2, and so on and so forth. But at areas of resistance is where you want to take profit. So the first one would probably be 1770 if we do fill. Um, but I will alert once I take profit. So that's the second place where I'm looking to scalp long. Third place is we do come down and we do take this liquidity down over here, reclaim it, and then go higher. Okay, so I'm not placing a limit order here, but 1680 is a very crucial area. Why is that? If we do lose 1680 and close a daily below it, I'm just going to mark that level here for you in blue. So if we don't swing failure and we just come down and close below, you can kiss all the alts goodbye. Like, they will have a 20% drop. ETH will probably go down. First bounce would maybe be around 1607, but honestly, I'd be looking at here as the next bounce point for ETH, so 1470ish. If we do close a daily under 1680. So if we do close, don't long any alts. Um, you would want to possibly short them on any bounces, but keep an eye out on that. The other level we don't want to lose, if we do, if you do open a short once we break down, right, close below, open up, reject at 1680, that's where you will open up a short, right? Stop loss will probably be above 1730. If we do go further down, the place where you want to add to your shorts if we do lose is 1612 level. Okay, I've mentioned this in the previous previous videos as well. Also in my Discord channels as well. So that's where you want to add if we do lose once you short here, and we are looking at this level for the main TP. Okay, so 1473. This 2-hour demand zone is going to be a quick scalp, so please do not risk more than 2%, as scalps are very quick plays. Also, I do go over how I DCA in my channels, so please refer to that if you are new on how I DCA. So taking a look at the dollar, this is a good place for the dollar to bounce. Now we could have a breakout here. We had failed breakouts here, right? We could break out here. Now if I remove this trend line and we play this one here, right? You could argue this is broken out, right? So I'm looking at 103.7 as an area of rejection, but after that, 104.6. Now, if the dollar rallies, the crypto market and the equity markets are going to take a hit. So I would be careful in this area if you're long. I do expect to go further down. I'm positioned well to do so, but I would be careful if you are trying to get long right now. Um, we are still in the chop zone on higher time frame, right? So if you are playing mid-range, you do not want to get long on anything. You want to get long on high time frame supports, which is the 16.8 level. Also, basically what I've indicated here as my plan. So I expect the dollar to go up and test this 103.73 region, and what happens there is what's gonna dictate the move and the rest of the market. I cannot speak today, so I would be careful if you're longing right now. But in all seriousness, I swear to God, if someone calls this a head and shoulders, I'm going to yell. This is not a head and shoulders, right? For a head and shoulders, you need a break of the neckline to be confirmed. If someone starts shorting this right now and this just rips higher and they call that head and shoulders and you took it, you deserve to lose money. Not a head and shoulders. The next play I'm looking at is Link. Now, Link has been in a range since May of last year, right? If once I mentioned this before, and I've given the Discord a nice call and link, but once this breaks out, it's going to break out hard. Okay, now if we're looking at Link here, So as you can see, once Link breaks the trend, right, it dumps. And you can backtest this. This happens on a lot of coins, right? Once Link and a lot of coins just break trend, they're going to dump. Okay, bounced off trend, died. Now we haven't had a third touch of this trend line, so I want to see if this region here holds for Link. And I'm looking at candle closures, okay? I don't care about these wicks. I want, if the candle falls below but closes above, trend is still intact, right? So I want to see what happens here at this trend line, because if we do break it, what I'm looking at is break, retest of neckline, close below, and then I will short, right? However, there is a demand zone here at, let's make this a little cleaner, at 702 almost, right, to 6.92. I do think we could get a better bounce in this region. So I'm going to take a scalp long. I'm going to position myself at 6.88. Stop loss is going to be at 6.7, and I'm going to target 7.3. It's a 2.5 R. I'm not risking too much here. I'm going in with 1.5%. No DCA here, but I'm looking for that. And if we do go higher, then great. But I'm looking for a quick scalp there. So 6.88 entry, tight stop loss at 6.71 ish. Yeah, let's make it tighter. 7.27. And I'm looking for 7.3. Now, I would love for this to come down here, right? We just break below, fill this order, go up here, reject. We have a nice move up from entry. And then reclaim trend and go higher. The boss level is here, right? We double topped and fell. So this could, get ugly if Bitcoin gets ugly. This is very harsh rejection. This is also our TP for the spot trade that we took. Um, so I'm looking at this for Link. It could take some time, but again, I'm waiting for the trades to come to me. I'm not going to, market buy into anything with Bitcoin in mid-range. Next on the list is Sol. Now, I had this drawn for Sol a while ago, right? We got into the spot call here, and then we got a nice move up. Now, this has still yet to break out, okay? I would not buy in this area right now, and if we, I have some spot Sol, but I wouldn't recommend anyone buying here, and I'll tell you why. Although we are on the bridge or brink of breaking out, this is a very crucial area. Okay, we've held the support, bounced off of it, right? We reclaimed it and went higher. Now we are on support, $20, psychological level. Okay, now if we add some more confluence to our trade and continuity, we break down here, turn this to resistance. We are looking at these levels for the next areas to buy. Okay, so 16.67 high time frame. Okay, and then we are looking at 14.32. Now on lower time frames, you could possibly, depends on how far Bitcoin wants to die, but this would be a nice area to scalp. Okay, So looking at 18.15 with a stop loss at 17.6, target back at the 20 levels, and then lose that, we're going straight for the support. Okay, now if you are shorting, you're looking at this. Break below, right? You would love a retest and rejection here. And if that happens, you're going to short with your stop loss probably there. Maybe a little bit higher. Go in risk small. And you are targeting that demand zone. So that would be your play. Now it's not necessarily going to be at $20 or 20.08. It could be even here at 20.34, right, or 39. So it's wherever the rejection is at the rejection of the trend line. So if we do break down here and reject at, let's say, 20.13, right, close below, that's your trigger to short with your stop loss above there. Now, if it takes longer to retest, and we retest at 20.31, that's going to be your trigger to short. Okay, you're looking for a rejection and close below. Don't immediately set limits at that level. I'm just going to place it here for now. That's Sol. These these buy areas, right? We had our chance, so we could bounce again at this trend line at $18. And that $18 is going to be right at our demand zone. So we have confluence, right? Here's that bounce level. So if we do bounce, like let's say here, right, $18, $18 is our demand zone. So that would be the scalp. BNB, same thing. BNB looks like it wants to lose trend. Now, we are at support. Here is your trend. So two things could possibly happen here with BNB. Lose, this could fall fast, right? Possible bounce point is going to be here. This is another high time frame support, right? We've held, but lose that. I am looking at I would love if we somehow get this, but I don't think we will. Depends on how far Bitcoin goes down. So the two things can happen, right? We could come take out the liquidity of this swing low level and then go higher, right? Which would put in another rejection level. I'm going to make this blue and I'm going to remove this, right? So this could hold and we could still be in I'm going to call this a channel. It's not a channel, but basically in this wedge, right? If we do lose that, then yes, I am looking at this swing low, reclaim, then you would long, right? Once it clears here, reclaims the swing low level, then you'd long with your stop loss below the wick, wherever that is, right? And then we'll probably target the trend line rejection again. Otherwise, I would love to get long at this level here. This is the retest of the breakout point. which we never really cleanly retested. So 2.93-ish level, right? And that would be an area where I would add to my spot bags. I wouldn't long that. Just an area to accumulate. We have our trigger for the long, so two areas, right? We reclaim the swing low, stop loss be below the wick that's created, and we're going to target the trend line rejection wherever that is. Could be a 2.5 to 3, RR trade. Otherwise, you are looking to see if it bounces at this 305 level, right? You could take a quick scalp there, but we've had so many bounces from this level. How many times is it going to hold, right? All of this, right? I wouldn't call this the third tap. This could be the fifth. So this could easily break. That's why I'm looking at these lower levels. But everything right now is tense with Bitcoin in the chop zone, and we're waiting on New York open. Okay, so these are the triggers for BNB. Resistance lies around here still. So if we do get here, now we've had so many rejections, but it's still worth to possibly take a quick scalp. Short 318 with a stop at 323.3, and then target these. Now, I say it's risky because if Bitcoin breaks out and just goes to 30K, it's going to stop you out. So there's a time and a place to short, right? If we are trending and everything looks bullish, you disable your red button. And if you do short, you go in with half of normal size. Okay, you can't just set shorts for, weeks and then expect it to hit. Yes, it could play out perfectly, but you also have to understand the environment that you're in, right? You don't want to fight the trend. So just be careful with that. But that's where you can take a scalp short. APT, um, it's been a monster. Now, clear rejection from the trend line, right? Support, in my opinion, still is, well, this was previous all-time high retest, right? So if it does go there, it'd be probably the third touch. We don't want to lose that level. Lose that level, we are going lower, probably to this area here. 8.5 to 7.5. To get long on this, I need a breakout and retest cleanly. Otherwise, lower time frame, this order block already got tested, but support is still holding at 10.86. So you could possibly take a scalp there with a very tight stop loss. And I'm talking like butthole tight. Around 10.56. Otherwise, we are testing, as I mentioned, this support and this order block here. Now, trend is your friend until broken. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. Is it going to hold this time? That would be your scalp short. Break down, retest, right? TP1 there. Possibly open up a small long. Now you're hedged long and short, right? Stop losses and profit. You're not worried. You open a long, goes down. Okay, you get stopped out, but your short's still printing. And then you take profit there again. So those are your triggers, okay? If we do break down here and reject, Your stop loss would probably be somewhere above here, so around 11.815. And now you're hedged with the long if we do fill there. And these are the coins that I'm basically looking at right now. Um, I'm going to take it easy on trading. I had a phenomenal month of March. We are still in the chop zone, as I mentioned, so everything I'm taking um, carefully. I'm not opening any longs. I'm just going to wait until these, uh, you know, plays set up and come to me. Thanks everyone for watching.